Good morning, my neighbors. Welcome to another episode of BYTTT, the trading floor. Um, whew, it's been crazy busy. I know I've only dropped y'all some road trip stuff. My season's starting to pick up, so I'm hitting the road a little bit more frequently. So I do apologize that I'm not giving you the normal stuff, but today I'm back at my desk. I have no reservations. I have nothing to do other than trade. So let's go ahead and get right to it. All right. So here's our chart. We got ourselves NQ. NQ has been doing some very interesting stuff. You already know how NQ does. NQ can be so vicious, so vicious. So this thing kind of looked like a W, right? So this is going to be very interesting here, right? So we got ourselves a nice little W, so we should get ourselves a nice little extension. If we take the short side of it, you got a measurement of over here, and then we get ourselves a nice explosion out to this area, which they attempted to do, and then we just go ahead and throw what? We throw some fibs on it, right? And then we got ourselves 50% of the area, which will bring us to about right here. So I want to see what is going to happen there, because it might do one of those things where we kind of get up there, kind of double tops it, and then we start to reject and maybe start to really look at a bigger M. I did kind of see this as an M over here at this point, because this kind of did this and they went down, but whatever is a failed M turns into a W, and that's exactly what it did. So we'll see what happens there. Let's go ahead and keep this going. We got oil now. Oil did do a little bit of a surprise. I was expecting for this thing to kind of bounce when it was all said and done, and it didn't really do the bounce until a little bit later, which is around here. Could it be because of September? Maybe, we was going to the end of the month and they just held it for a little bit, but now we're back to this order block again over around $72, and this is all predicated to how it bounced from yesterday. So that's very interesting. I did not think oil was going to come back and test this bump and run, but now that we're starting to look like we're going to close into here, it might come back to that target. It might come back to that target, probably around that 50% area, around $75. Before it starts to consider to come back down. If it does, it will retrace into this area for a test of the order block. All right, let's keep this going. We got gold. Gold got to 2,700, and guess what it did? It pulled back. It is running on fumes a little bit. So we're trying to figure out where's the buyers. Where's more buyers going to come in? We'll figure that out later. But you can kind of see this uptrend is very strong. Look at silver. Silver, I still have the drawings on silver here. Let me go ahead and get rid of that. You could kind of see nice little break of the bump and run, but we didn't really extend too far, and this is what's going to tell us a lot about gold. Is it going to play out to this area? I'm still looking for this to kind of play out, but that's a whole nother conversation. But right now we got ourselves a nice little break up to this area, and they're using this level as support. Could this be anything above 31.08 is a buying opportunity for silver? Maybe. All right, British pound. So we got British pound. It is coming down. I think this is the first test at this level. Now, listen, I'm not saying that the market's going to go ahead and crash, whatever, but the British pound is kind of closely tied to it. So I could see some consolidation of the British pound as they let the dollar kind of neander a little bit and try to figure out, is it going to go ahead and continue new highs or whatever the case may be. If it does, it's probably going to be the British pound that's putting the pressure, not allowing the dollar to really take off. So we'll see what happens there. ES, you can kind of see it's starting around that top. It made all-time highs. It's trying to find new buyers. Could they come back for this gap right here that happened during contract expiration? Maybe. We'll see. Russell. Now, this is why I think that we're probably not going to test the gap on ES, is because the Russell is back to this other side of the order block. This is one I pointed out a while back, that this contract expiration gave us this bounce. We kind of came up to this area. I was looking for this area to be that support, and they gave it up. Now we're coming back to the original move that I was expecting, which was for it to come down, test here, then bounce. Now, does it have enough strength? I feel like they probably got rid of a lot of buyers when they made this move, but I was looking for it to, instead of doing this, right, which is what it was trying to do, I was looking for it to do something like this and then come back for here. So we'll see if Russell's going to respect that. And the last one is the dollar, right? The way the dollar is moving right now, and I listen, I knew it was going to struggle. I knew it was going to have problems, but what I did have a strong feeling about is that they was not going to let this thing sit under 100, and that's exactly what's happening here. So we've tested some areas, we've had some runs, we're getting some pullbacks on a new month. I want to see this dollar gain some strength. If they're gonna do that, maybe come back into this order block here and then drop and try to get under this 100. But right now you can see that this $100 level is holding. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the NQ. We got ourselves 7 minutes until this gets started. So let me go ahead and kind of tell you how this relatively works if you're new to my channel. Very simple. I operate with only 2 different strategies, just to keep it simple for y'all, because I'm catering to the newer novice traders to somewhat in that mid breakout to be a pro trader, right? And that's what my goal is, to give y'all the fundamentals, give strong foundations so you can make your right decisions, and maybe even be a better investor as well. That's my general goal. So I only operate 2 strategies. One is the open range breakout. Now the open range breakout, we want to take the first 15 minutes and we want the close of a 5-minute candle above that. That's pretty much what we're looking for. And then the other part is an indicator that I have, which is called market dominance, and it allows me to kind of see and gauge where there's a possibility of a reversal. I'm a reversal trader. Where the reversal is going to be and how long the reversal is going to go. So that's the general edge. So I do have a light version. If you want to go ahead and sign up, go ahead and click the link down below. That way you can go ahead and sign up for NQued. All right, that's what it's called, but it works for every ticker. That was the small little tweak, so I call it market dominance now. So we getting the name right. Yeah, we getting that. Anyways, let's go ahead and start marking off some levels. So what I'm going to be looking for is let's just say right now there's quite a bit of news that's coming in. So what I want to see is a nice little range breakout. So I would be bearish below the range and I will be bullish above the range. Very simple, but we're going to do that wrapped around the 15-minute chart. Right now, if we look at this as a whole on NQ, this is the trend that or actually, you know what, let's do it as a channel. I haven't used channels in a while. So we kind of operating something like this, really kind of like this a little bit, because we kind of rejected this area as far as current price action, but I could see that this was probably a reach and then got back into here. But normally you would want to kind of have your channels kind of like that. So we kind of meandering around that 50% mark of the channel. Can we get through? Very possible. I think we came for fair value gaps. There was a nice little fair value gap that was right here on NQ. About right here, a bullish one. And this fair value gap is the area that we kind of like danced a little bit, and then we started putting in this trend line to the downside. So this is the trend that we need to be breaking if we're going to continue to that upside. We are making a minor trend to the upside right here currently with price action, and that's probably what they're going to be looking for, is to test those areas on that upside. Wrong button. I wanted to delete that, get out of the way. So I want to see what they're going to do there. Let's come over to the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, it's very deep consolidation. That's why I kind of keyed off on. I want to see what they're going to do with this area here. Let's go ahead and call this an order block. I want to see what they're going to do with this order here. I think if this thing breaks under 918, yeah, 918, maybe 9800. Let's call it 9800. 9800, something down here. If it breaks below here, I think there's going to be a little bit of beeline to come back into what was the gap that was created during contract expiration. That should also put some pressure on ES doing almost the same as well. So we'll see. We will see. We only take the chart that they give us, and that's about it. All right, let me go ahead and go into some of the stuff that I've been looking at. Green list. So let's talk about UNH. UNH, I was waiting for it to do a pullback. It did. I was waiting for it to kind of like really hold, but I did not think that it would gap up $17 overnight. So I think this was the accumulation phase. I thought it was going to at least test the 50 because it kind of gave this order block, and I thought this was the sign. I really thought this was the sign. So now with this accumulation explosion, this thing's probably going to go away and really run. Especially when they filled this. They came filled the gap. Why are you up here? Like it's almost like UNH is just trying to avoid me when it's all set up. But anyways, nice little uptrend here. I really wanted to get that 550 price, and then I would have jumped in. But this was a good little move with this area. If it breaks above 606, 605, and holds it by the end of the day, I think we're gonna make a nice little leg higher. Let's go ahead and check out Meta. What's a Meta with you? That one right there. It is probably gone. It is probably gone. I think they're going to get to 600 and then probably bump its head, but I think this is gone. If you try to get into Meta right now, I think you're going to get chopped up with some liquidity sweeps. And it's probably going to beat you up a little bit. I am shocked that it's up here. Back in July, I kind of did this price action around that 418, 419, and they bought up all the dips on Meta. They really did. And then another one is Microsoft. Microsoft had a nice little run to the downside a little bit. I was playing, I think it was the Qs. I was playing the Qs down and Amazon down. And then I noticed that Microsoft was starting to really look like they were giving some of their profits. So I do think that this downward trend that's being built here, wrong one, this one here, I do believe that this downward trend that's being built here is the one that's going to be the question mark, because Microsoft has ran relatively well, and we're talking about all the way back here. This is your 2022, something along the lines of this. And if we go not where, and if we look at the chart, this was that first test around July. That's the one that kind of really caught my attention. And since we cannot hold above this level, could they be taking their profits? Is this going to be a M pattern where we got our M like this? Or for my more advanced traders, let me go grab my trusty tool, wherever it is, predictions. We got ourselves this as our left shoulder. This is our head, and this is the right shoulder being created right now. Is that what's happening? We'll see. We'll see. All right. Markets open. Let's go ahead and get back over to NQ. Let's see how the party started so far on NQ. All right. 15 minutes. So the first 15 minutes, let's see, the first 60 seconds looks like that. They're starting to test the order block itself. So I want to see how this area holds. Now, NQ above 20,000 is probably what they're looking for, and they've been struggling to get back above it after they got under it. So could this be the accumulation phase so that way they can get themselves back up there? Just make sure you're charting yourself and and you're not rushing to get into anything, because we are in the middle of what could be considered chop. Let me grab the news. Let's see if there's any news coming up. My favorite is my FX book, but there's also Forex Factory and some others, financial news, all that. We got a Fed that's running his mouth right now, and we got another one. Well, he started running his mouth at 9 o'clock. And then we have one that is going to speak at 10:05. After that, you got oil inventories, which is going to tell us a lot about oil overall. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome. Appreciate you chiming in. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe. You can share it to friends and family, all that good stuff. Good morning. Fed Barkin is going to speak at 12:15, which is going to put another little bit of pressure over there as well. Oh, 17-week bond auction. That can throw a little volatility in there. That's roughly around 11:30. So yeah, so we got a couple of speeches, and then we got oil inventory. So those are part of a few things I'm going to be paying attention to. Oil inventory is at 10:30. Let me see, 9:45, 10. Oh, actually, yeah, that kind of falls in line with one of my favorite charts. I love the 45-minute. We'll see how that goes. Fed Musalem. That's the one that's going to be talking in 30 minutes. All right, so let's go ahead and see what's going on so far. All right, we got about 3 minutes in, so they've already established the low here. So let's go ahead and grab our low end, and let's make it as perfect as possible. So that level is 99.12, And then this one is our high level. We're talking about 19,966.76. Oh, 75, sorry. Right. Oh, or did I do that wrong? Where did you go? Ha! I was changing the name. That's not what I meant to do. 19,966. There we go. All right. So we got those right there. And we're going to see what it does over there. Let's go ahead and check some other tech stuff. Tesla. This is what it did. I knew there was going to be a little bit of a pullback, but it's starting to look like they might put in an M. I really wanted to see what Tesla did with the 180 level. I thought it was going to break 200 roughly around here when I was talking to a few friends of mine as we kind of went into September. But you could kind of see they kind of pulled this bad boy a little bit back. We'll see what happens as they go towards earnings. Earnings is on October 16th. So that should be very interesting. Another tech stock. Let's go with NVIDIA. NVIDIA is inside of its range. Now, will November's earnings be the one that kind of breaks this whole entire wedge out? Because I've been really charting out this wedge. I love NVIDIA and where it is right now, because it's showing signs that buyers are still there. So it's going to, that means there's a lot of cash that's going to be inside of NVIDIA. When it makes its explosion, it's going to make a very significant move, either the upside or the downside. I'm not bearish nor bullish, but a cool down in tech would be a good time because it allows for everything else to kind of sector rotate, and we'll see what happens there. Let's go back over to NQ and see how that's going. All right, back over to the 15 minutes, still inside of that range. Haven't really got out. We'll check over in oil. What's going on with them? Still trying to take out those highs and get out of that block, but I do believe this is, oops, wrong button. I need this one. I do believe that this is going to be a tough area. That's going to be a very tough area. We'll come back to that. Gold. Ooh, okay, gold. I see you. Nice little W pattern that's being played right here. Let's go ahead and grab that. We were talking about boom, 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 like that. Shorter side is this one, so let's see. Neckline is about right here. So we're talking about maybe an explosion to here, which will bring us to about maybe this block here. Let's see. Probably get gold to at 26.8260, somewhere around there, and then probably reverse. Not silver. Ooh, that's why we're taking off. Look at how violent silver just went in the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. So for about an hour, hour and a half, this is the one that's been driving it, and then gold is following suit. Let's go over to Russell. Russell's using that area of the order block. I can see the Russell start to take off. Where are they going to get the cash from? I argue to say they're probably going to get the cash out of the large caps. So Russell's right here. Maybe a nice little break of 22.13, and this thing's going to test 22.26. Keep that in mind. All right. Looks like we made a little bit more of a lower low, and that's all I'm saying. If the Russell is running, they're probably taking the money out of the major caps. Our low is 902.25. That is the area we just bounced off of, so we'll see what happens there. Let me get rid of my watch list. That way I can see most of the chart. Oh yeah, nice little curl in the 15 minute. Let's see what the daily looks like. Daily look like it's pointing down and about to curl the MACD. Let's see if the bears can step in. Again, we are still in the bullish state. That weekly is telling us it can stay bullish. So I'm not saying get anything long term, but I would love to see what the MACD does. We did cross over the zero line here and here. The last time we crossed over the zero line, that's that August 5th sell-off on a daily. And this is the one that they just had to catch it. And they was like, yeah, we're not going to give any more. So I would love to see, can we actually break this level with here, knowing that we couldn't make any highs here? Does this turn this whole thing around? Very interesting. Very interesting in the market. All right, we just made another lower low. And we got ourselves about 6 minutes until this candle closes. I'm gonna go update this. 19,894 even. Oh, that's what you said, right? Oh, 19,890. Probably gonna make them some lures. All right, maybe they come in for this level. At 15 is really looking bearish. They got a little bit left on this fair value gap, so probably a bounce at 19,877, or they might swing a little bit lower past it. Maybe a bounce over at 19,844, somewhere around there, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Just want to establish what the market is trying to do. There we go. Fill that fair value gap on this 15-minute. Let's come up to a 45-minute. I love my 45. I love my 45. Oh, that thing looks like an engulfing. But I do think it's going to be a bit of a bounce. So, how the indicator actually operates and the way it kind of breaks things down, it's looking for large price action, large cash, large stop loss get hit, whatever the case may be, whatever is driving the market. No, to be honest, it doesn't care, right? But when that happens, there's got to be either A, some repositioning, or B, some profit taking. That's just the way it is. The market works in cycles, like a ocean and the waves and all that good stuff. So could there be some profit taking even though we're pointing this 45 minutes straight down? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. All right, so let's talk about some levels. Now that we got some time, let me grab my other chart so I can pull up QQQ. So we can do something from the options side. On the south side, I would say 477 puts, 478 puts, somewhere there. On the north side, this is in the upside, I would love 483. Anything above 482 will probably be good. Probably be good. So let's go ahead and get that set up. So 47 for today. 477. What was that? I think that was what I said. Yep, 477, 478 puts. 477. Oh, these puts are juicy. Juicy. So IV is a little bit high right now. Let's go 476. 476. And then on the north side, 43. $477.43. All right, this thing is making lower lows. Like I said, they're swinging a little further. They're trying to locate where all the buyers are. 19,868. There, this thing is going faster than it needs to be. We got 3 more minutes until this is all over. Could they go all the way to our block, 19,818, and then start to bounce? There's a possibility too. Very strong possibility. Kind of changes my prices a little bit. Yeah, this contract already went up. 476 puts, 476 puts, 476. Okay. And that is juicy. Very, very juicy. Oh, look at that. That thing is going. All right, we got ourselves a low right now of 19,843. They're probably going to go to that 818 level. That's the edge of my order block. Like I said, I'm very intentional and try to be very, very specific on my positioning. We got a minute and 28 seconds until this candle is done. we're probably gonna get ourselves a bounce. Probably. We're gonna go ahead and take our sweet time, make sure we see what we see, and then we're gonna go to the 5-minute chart in a second. 19, 8:38, 25. Come back over to the 15-minute. Got 60 seconds left. Are they gonna take out this wick? That 15-minute looks very bearish. You know, we're probably going to be at the put side as soon as this thing finds its little reversal area. But I won't be surprised if there's some profit taking that comes in. So I'm going to go ahead and, as much as I don't like it, I don't like play ranges. I might take something inside of the range. We'll see. Probably on the scalp, depending on how I feel about it. Got 6 seconds left. That looks like a very engulfing area. Alright, that's that. So our low, my indicator just alerted me. Our low is this here at 19,836, like that. Just checking some areas here. Actually, let me get this. I might do some scalps for real. Let's see. I'll risk like $200. Risk like some $200. All right. So first part, if we're doing open and range breakout, we want to make sure that this actually closes below the level of this 19,836 with a 5-minute close below. Again, I've been playing around lately that, you know, as long as it shows me some type of momentum to it. I've even went down to like the 1 minute to kind of see it, and you can kind of see they accumulated here and here trying to get down there. And if they liquidate them, this thing's probably going to start taking some of these shorts out. You see? So it's going to get a little tricky here, especially we're inside of the order block. This is a higher time frame order block that we kind of keyed off on based on the 1 hour. Very jambalaya rice looking, right? You got some greens, you got some reds, you got some ups, you got some downs, you got some big candles, you got some tiny candles. Like, it's just doing a lot of different things. You want to get those explosions when they just go in one direction because the broker has to find buyers or sellers. So being in this area makes it a little tricky. So just be sound on your entries and you should be fine. Should be fine. All right, looks like they liquidated most of those bears. I was looking for something very specific, but it looks like they did it violently. All the way back up, right? They're just pushing it. So I'm not going to take that reversal. Now, that reversal would have been solid. You're talking about 120 ticks. If you just took it on an aggressive move right on up. For my beta team that is actually doing this right now and watching this recording later, this was a perfect example of, you know, taking the aggressive entry. It barely, let's see, I don't even think it gave it 20 ticks down before it took off. So good area for that bounce, a little bit of profit taking. I am going to wait to see if we can get a little bit of an action where the 5-minute cools down a little bit. Now, this could be multiple things. It could be people are stepping in, and when they stepped into their stop losses again triggered, and it's just cascaded. You know, the bulls are catching all that sell side liquidity, and you can kind of see that here. Let me come to the 1 minute chart and show what I mean. So sell, right? If you was a seller, you'll put your stop loss at previous candles saying, hey, as long as you don't get here, I'll stay in. Meanwhile, we kind of tweeze the bottom here, and then they're trying to explode this back to the upside. Depending on how much sellers are in this order block, it's probably going to go ahead and let us know where it's going to go. But right now we're rejected at the 50 EMA. Probably could come back over to the 200 on the 1 minute. Let's see what it is on the 5 minute. Yeah, you see what I mean? So this area is probably going to be tough because we're still in the bear state. I think this is the first shot for the bulls to kind of like reestablish control and see how much control they have. I think the bears sat back, was like, yeah, we're going to give you a little bit, but we're about to smack the crap out of you. Coming to that 19,900 psychological level, very, very important level for the bulls and the bears. The bears want to see it stay under it. The bulls are like, if we can get a close above here after being down so far, we might be able to reestablish. And then just sitting back, waiting for a good trade. Again, don't force anything. This thing could get up into this area, then get rejected somewhere around here, even with this curling up, because this 15-minute is basically bearish at this point. We'll see. I'm gonna wait for the next 5-minute candle to close so I can get a real read of what the market's trying to do. What could happen here, we could get where this gets a nice little push, maybe close above the 50 EMA. Then we probably could get our close above the block here, because then we get a close above the 200 EMA and that. So we're gonna get a lot of confluence, especially with the slope pointing up. A lot of confluence to get this open range breakout close above here, and that could be a nice little push. But so far on the 1 minute, this is what it's doing. Are you tired? Oop, that's not what I meant to do. It said, nope, I'm not tired. There goes another hit getting above there. Alright, retrace back. Alright, let it find some support here. What could be an area of support? Well, not yet. I know this 1 minute fair value gap is probably going to try to hold itself, but maybe a good discount will probably be 19,874. Let's see if we can get there. Come on, baby. Let's get something. I don't like ranges. I really don't. It drives me crazy. I'm a breakout trader, so whenever I see ranges, I try my best to stay out. But inside those ranges, they still look like breakouts. Especially, I like to scalp, so that breakout looks like it could be the momentum I need for it to continue. But we can look at this higher time frame again. On the 1 hour, this is an order block. It will be tough. They're going to need a lot of steam to get down there. I think this is probably that pullback, so that way they can be able to do so. But they kind of liquidated the bulls on this candle. I mean, the bears on this candle. So I don't know. Just a tough range. Really tough range right now. Let's see, we got 2 minutes 16 seconds. Let's go ahead and check something. So let's go to XLV. I do believe we're about to walk into a healthcare, a little bit of a push. I did not expect UNH to just take off like that. So I would love to see this day like close like a hammer. Then I could probably target above 160, maybe 165. That's probably what I'm gonna aim for in healthcare. We'll see. What's inside of healthcare? I have a whole entire watch list of that. We have our sales XLV right here. So we got Lilly. Lilly is one of them. You guys saw a little bit of a downturn right here. We want to see that one kind of break to that upside, because then it'll give us credence that this support from here to here will hold, and from here to possibly here. Yeah, see how pretty that was? I don't even know the chart that well. But yeah, you can see this little bounce with the August 5th sell-off was the bounce that kind of created this whole entire thing. So they just stayed inside of this angle. So this was just profit taking, and then boom, explosion. So let's see if this explosion consolidates and they exploded one more out of that area. And then let's give one more. I hate Pfizer, but it's more cost effective. Just make sure you catch it on a run, because this thing it's a lot of shares to move. So Pfizer can be very tricky to try to play. It's at its bottom. Their earnings is on October 29th towards the end. Let's see, last earnings, they kind of ran up to earnings. This one kind of ran down. Let's see if this base holds around this 28.43. Maybe even $28. Probably like a range here. If it stays above here, good. Stop loss down here, and then we just take it to the upside. Maybe aim for like $33. We'll see. We will see. Telemarketers. All right, let's go back over to NQ. Let's see what they got for us. Coming back over to the 15-minute. Kind of tweets the bottom, and it's holding its own. 4 more minutes to see if this thing can turn this 15-minute above the 900 level. We'll see. We'll see. So far, the 5-minute for opening range breakout, we still have nothing to play. So be patient. Don't force nothing, because we trade our plan, not our money. And our plan is it needs to break out of one of these areas. Either 19,966 and we stay bullish, or you already see 19,836. There's new buyers that just stepped in and bought up the dip here, and if there's any sellers, they would have to be along this trend here if they're still in there. So maybe a nice little rejection here, come back down, and then break down to here. I think they're going to test this before they do that. And even if you don't take a trade the whole entire day, still, at the end of the day, make sure you're executing your plan. Maybe this range breaks out a little bit later, around lunchtime. So I would say mark off the 19,836, mark off that 19,966, and see how it does. See how it does. In about 9 minutes, there's going to be a Fed speaking. Come back over to the news again. Yeah, about 9 to 8 minutes, a Fed's going to be speaking. In 30 minutes, you're going to get to oil inventory. So if you want to play oil with the volatility that's going to be coming in, this could be a push up, knowing that the oil inventory is oversat. Well, in this case, if my memory serves me correctly, I haven't done oil based on news in a while. But if the oil inventory is higher, it's going to drop the price, so that way they can be able to move the units. So oil inventory, they're expecting, the consensus is expecting negative 1.4 million. If they overshot that and it's actually less than that, might be a problem. Let's see, their production, that's not the one that really moved. Crude oil stocks, so yeah, both of them are negative numbers. So last month it was a negative number. Let me go see what does the consensus. All right, so the consensus was expecting negative 1.4, and the one before was like negative 163, and it surprised them with negative 4.4. So it was a lot lower than they expected. So now this one is at negative 125, and if they do another surprise of that, maybe like negative 2, negative 3, something like that, that means the forecasters are getting the information wrong. So what's being priced in is probably people thinking that, oh, you know what, we cleaned up the issues, so the stock change should go up. We'll see. We will see. Let me go grab the other one. Stock change and this one. Okay. Yeah, this one was not expect. Well, it was supposed to be a small negative number, but it was a surprise high negative number. And now we're back to a small negative number again on gasoline stock change. So, yeah, those two are going to tell you a lot if we're going to break through this order block here. So just keep that in mind if you're playing oil. All right, let's get back over to NQ. Let's see what's going on. And still not much. Sellers are still trying to apply some pressure here. The buyers are trying to get that sell side liquidity, and there's just way too much selling pressure. Do not get in the middle of a fist fight with two kids, right? You want to get punched. And I think right now the Bulls and the Bears are fighting right now. No need to fight with them. You're not going to move the market. No, our little tiny 1-2 contracts does not do nothing. I really wanted to at least touch the 50 EMA. If it touched the 50 EMA, it could really drive some consolidation. They might be accumulating for more selling pressure, which is going to put a more internal structure of an order block down here. All right, Tesla looks like it probably could bounce here. Let's go check out Tesla while this thing waits. Could this be the move that they're going to get us above that order block? So Tesla on the 1 hour tends to do this, where if they have a massive move down, this is probably what was driving us down, it tends to kind of push back up. I'm looking for it not to go below this 241.53 and probably give us a nice little bounce here. I know everything's kind of like pointing down right now, but you gotta also remember, for us to make that major move down, something had to be oversold, and that's the 5 minute here. And the 15 minute like it's trying to cross up the stochastic, but that's wide open. That is just wide open. So maybe they come back for the fair value gap at 250.45, and then that could be a good short opportunity to the downside for 15 minutes. We'll see. Back over to NQ. So for everyone that's new to my show, listen, I try to cut this off at 10:15. It's consolidating, so chances are I'm probably going to shut this down right at 10:15. The reason is I want you to have your day to yourself, be able to knock out what you want to do. Normally we make our money inside of that 15 minute, kind of like how yesterday had. I didn't get to participate on yesterday, but if you was part of that price action, it did break out of its range and it kind of continued. So that could have been a nice little opportunity. Maybe that's why people aren't playing on this space. So just be smart about it. Don't do nothing crazy. Mark off the ranges. Maybe it does it later. And if it does, you can take out the opportunity at that point. But I do not want y'all to just sit in front of your screen the entire day. The goal is to get your money and get out, so that way you can have the rest of your day. So you can see, look at that. They keep on making higher highs and keep on making higher lows on the 5 minute. All it takes is one of the bearish moves to really get it, and this thing's probably going to go ahead and try to do some new lows. Let me get myself ready in the event of, because I'm really curious. Can we get up into here, maybe the 50 EMA, and then I'll probably consider getting myself an entry. We may go sharp. we may go scalpy a little bit. All right, here comes that trend line. All right, that's the one. I'm looking for a potential rejection somewhere around here. All right, looks like they didn't reject it yet. Looks like now we at our opening range. All right, so they're gonna try to get all that sell side liquidity on that side. If we get a 5 minute close above, we'll play the upside. I do think there may be some sense of a pullback here, but we'll see. They're trying their best to get back to that 20,000. Looks a little weak, so we're gonna see. Did they accumulate enough to get there? I want to give it 200 bucks. I think I think it looks a little weak. I'm gonna see if it's going to reverse here at this area because it's the top of the order block, and maybe come back down under this trend line in itself. But again, they did take out some of that sell side liquidity here, so that it might not go too far. But I'm gonna take the shot and see what it does with it. See if they can take out some of the buy side liquidity. I'm looking for it to get under 949. They might use the 950 as a level of support. Looks like here we are. We're at 950. Do you break it or you bounce? Break or bounce? Break or bounce? Break or bounce? Look like it's trying to bounce that 950. All right, holding the wall. All right, breaking 950. I'm sitting at like 60 ticks. Oh, I forgot to set up my P&L screen. I did not want to lose focus. I did not get under 40. Oh, you got under 40 ticks. All right, I'm taking the 30 ticks. So basically, I took 2 shots at it. I was down 100 bucks. Then this one's gonna risk 200, and I'm down 31 bucks. Let me get my P&L screen set up so I can show y'all what that looks like. That is not the screen. Why are you there? Let's tweak you. Put that there. Okay. And let me bring this over. Can y'all see that? Yeah. Y'all should be able to see that. So yeah, so I am negative 31 bucks. Is that clear? I don't even know if that's clear. I'm trying to see if this is clear because it's like a little tiny little monitor that I have to be able to see. I think, yeah, that's it. It shows that in 0. Okay, perfect. So yeah, that's my P&L for that. Let me see if I can find another. Oops, not that. If I can find another entry on this, because I'm assuming that this is a little bit of weak sauce in itself. I think I might have missed it. Yeah, I missed it. Over here worrying about my P&L. I'm gonna have to sit back and sit tight. Let this thing kind of do its thing. Because we came back, got into this fair value gap itself. I was looking for this fair value gap to kind of like really break down, and no, it didn't really break down. It didn't really break down. Yeah, you see. So I think they're using it as support. We might have to go with the bullet side. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think we might have to go with calls. What time is it? It's 10:07. All right, so this might be our trade of the day. If this thing can close above here, now I don't think I'm gonna wait for the 5-minute close above it. I don't think that's what I'm gonna do. I think what I'm gonna do is look for an entry that's going to catch some momentum as we're breaking through here. So maybe safe entry, set a limit order above this wick here. Maybe set a limit order at the level itself. And if they kidnap you, hey, they just hit your stop loss and it is what it is. But if they do not, you should be relatively fine. All right, we just hit new highs on that one. I see what I should have entered. I should have been in this already. This thing is moving. Because that 5-minute is really trying to power itself up to that area. Let's see if I can get in here. All right, so that's a good solid move there. Come on, no, 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 no. I was just about to go ahead and push this thing into profit. I'm now down 6 ticks. Oh, oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, I'm telling you, this thing is choppy. This is the area you got smacked the last time. Can we get up there? Can we get up there? Hold that kick. Got a nice little kick to that upside. And come up a little bit. That 1 minute starting to curl up a little bit. If this 1 minute can take over, we should spill over into the 5 minute. And I can't let you go red though, because you've been red before. I'm taking these 10 ticks. And that's why. And see, like I said, this is where it gets real choppy. That order block is going to be really, really tough for you to hold any type of position unless you're at the bottom of bottoms. You're going to be giving up some ticks. You're going to give it up. So, and see, now we just made an inside bar. That inside bar in the 5 minute could be a reversal. Part of the reason why I kind of took a step back. I want to see if we can get back inside of this area here around 933 before the 950, and I do believe that 950 is the reason why we're just like really doing this two-step dance. If we could get something as soon as it closes above and then it picks up some steam, I might jump back in. I just didn't want any surprises. All right, give me a pullback here. Give me something I feel comfortable with. Okay, good pullback. Those sellers are sitting there. Okay. All right, does the buyers have control? Taking a shot. Let's see if we can take out, I want to see if we can take out this wick here, because we're so close to it, so close. Negative 18. They kind of double topping that. Oh, it recovered. Can it recover nicely? Bear trap. The bulls put a bear trap. Taking that out. All right. I gave it a shot. Like I said, I don't like ranges. So I was up. Well, not up. I was down negative $32. Now I'm down negative $247. And that's only because this, like I said, that area there is going to be a tough area. We got bearish momentum. The day is pushing to the downside. This is why I like to wait for the 5 minute close above. Last time we took this trade, it worked out because the momentum kicked in. I was looking for this trend to hold because we kind of tweezed the bottom. This is our supporters right here, and I was looking for something very similar to this, and now this is the extension. And if that's the case, then we should be continuing something like this. We did not do the inside bar reversal, so as soon as we got past here, I felt a little confident that we was going to go ahead and take out, but selling pressure is deep here. Yeah, very deep, very deep. So that said, if you have any questions, by all means, you can message me on Instagram, JD_the great. You could do YouTube community. I'm on Discord, JD_the great. I'm everywhere, JD_the great. I do have my NQued Up. I'm still adding people to my beta team. If you want to be part of the beta team, by all means, I would appreciate some feedback so that way we can make the indicator even better than what it is. That said, I am going to probably end it here, but we're going to just see how this 5-minute candle closes. If this thing closes above, maybe I'll take another stab at this to that upside. Let me make sure I got everything set the way I need to. All right. Boom, boom, boom. And then let me get this back. Let's go minimize that. 49 seconds. You see how they kind of hammered it? Basically screaming out, yeah, there's no mas up here. No mas. I almost, I'm not saying I'm going to do it. Almost want to take it to the short side if it breaks below 19,927. Because it's telling me that the 950 level is a tough area that they will not give back. Close on the 950. Oh, it did not close on the 950. All right. Nah, this is way too choppy. This thing's gonna go ahead and try to get back up there, but it's probably gonna liquidate some of the buyers at this point. This is tough. All right. Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. I will see y'all tomorrow again at 9:15. I might be on the road, so I'll give y'all the pre-market stuff again, like I normally do on the road. But if I'm not on the road, you'll see me here, and we'll take some trades. Y'all have a great day and good luck. Make sure you mark off the levels. If it breaks, take it. If it doesn't, stay out of the market. We might have an inside day. All right. Have a great day. Bye-bye.